We're currently in the History Gallery of the National Horse Racing Museum. Here we talk about the early days of racing from the early inception of the Jockey Club in the late 1600s through to the current day, taking horse racing from what started off as an aristocratic sport through to the national sport that it is today. Next door is the Science Gallery, where the horse is stripped back, so you sort of see exactly how he has become the racing machine that he is in his current format, which is extremely fascinating, and certainly I think anyone that is interested in the sport itself really getting under the bonnet, that really gets you under the bonnet. We've got an amazing candelabrum just behind me that was gifted to Admiral Rouse after a 25 years service Jockey Club. Admiral Rouse is still, we still know of him today because he was the person that set up the original handicap system, which is still in use today. There's also a great section in here on heroes and legends, so it talks about Gordon Richards, Lester Piggott, Red Rum, Sir Tony McCoy is in there. That's a really fascinating part of this gallery as well. Also within the Science Gallery is a section on bloodlines, which shows the founding fathers, the Bailey Turk, Dali Arabian and Godolphin Arabian, who are the founding fathers of the thoroughbred breed as we know it today. I mean, this again is another little fascinating piece about horses can't burp. You know, the different size of the heart and the human heart, the horse's brain and the human brain. It's very light. This one's very heavy. So we're currently in the King's Yard. This building here is known as Trainer's House. Bruce Hobbs trained here until 1986, and these stables here were all part of his training yard and the Rothschild yard beyond. We have Palace House over the road, which is Charles II's sporting lodge, which was finished in 1671 and now houses the British Sporting Art Trust's works of art. So the National Horse Racing Museum moved to the Palace House estate in 2016, and we were opened in November 2016 by Her Majesty the Queen, having previously been in the subscription rooms on the High Street, which was part of the Jockey Club rooms, which the Queen also opened in April 1983. So we were very fortunate that Her Majesty opened both incarnations of the National Horse Racing Museum. So we're here in the Rothschild yard. This yard was finished in 1903. And was also part of Bruce Hobbs' training yard. This is where we showcase the Retraining of Racehorses charity. So we have up to 6 horses here at any one time. They're retired racehorses off the track that are looking for a second career, and we help to get them on the way. It's a great illustration of how the racing industry really does take welfare, aftercare of the racehorse very seriously, along with the aftercare of sort of, you know, the people that work in the industry alongside racing welfare. You can come here, you can meet the horses. The ladies that work here in the yard are very happy to talk to you about, you know, the life of a racehorse. The Palace House estate is 5 acres. We've got some turnout paddocks for the horses that are staying here. We've got the Sir Peter O'Sullivan arena at the back, which is an enormous 35 by 70 metre arena, which is really well used by local trainers, Pony Club. We do stuff for the Newmarket Open weekend where we have the trainers' hacks classes. Here we also have a forge here, which is used quite regularly by local farriers, and they do displays here regularly in the afternoon so that, you know, visitors can learn about farriery and the difference, you know, the thoroughbred horse compared to sort of a heavier type of horse. I mean, it's lovely out here in the summer months actually, you know, come and eat your picnic. We have 2 restaurants on site. We have the bakery, which does picnics and takeaways, and then we have the tack room, which is a really lovely restaurant. And rather more than just sort of a museum cafe, it's really well worth visiting. And we have a fantastic shop with lots of what you'd expect to see in a museum, but lots of other unique gifts. We're particularly championing local suppliers, so a lot of what we have here is locally sourced. And we also have a second-hand bookshop in the shop. So the Hall of Fame was launched in April 2021, and it was launched originally virtually, and in April 2022 they came here, so we're the physical presence for the Hall of Fame. It was celebrating 10 years of the Kipco Champion Series that had been set up, and there were 10 initial inductees, including Her Majesty the late Queen, The original inductees, there were 10, of which the Queen was the first, and in 2022 they inducted in 2 more, Sir Henry Cecil and Willie Carson.